This photo's from Donna. So thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
I keep all the photos you send me and I put them in a folder with your names. So last week when Anne Marie brought up Thich Nhat Hanh's book, No Mud, No Lotus, I think I said even right then, let's work with that next week. So let's meditate with the lotus. And you can keep your eyes open and look at this beautiful photo. You can close your eyes, whatever works best for you. You can sit, you can lie down, and let's just begin. Thich Nhat Hanh says, there is the mud, and there is the lotus that grows out of the mud. We need the mud in order to make the lotus. We're going to work with our breath. So just come into the present moment. You might notice the breath filling your lungs, your chest expanding as you breathe in and relaxing as you breathe out. You might now just begin to kind of feel the rhythm of on the in-breath rising up, on the out-breath sinking down, just in your body right now. Just breathing in and out at a natural rhythm for you with this little teaching to begin. A lotus flower begins growing at the bottom of a muddy, murky pool, and it slowly emerges toward the surface, bursting out of the water into a beautiful blossom. But then every night, the lotus closes its petals up and sinks under the water and spends the night back down in the mud. As the sun begins to emerge, so does the lotus. It rises up, moves through the surface of the water, opens, and spends the day awake. As a metaphor for us, the mud symbolizes the hardships and the difficulties of life, the challenging times we have faced and are facing right now. Like the flower, the lotus, we grow through our experiences, through our difficulties, learning lessons along the way, removing obstacles, overcoming adversities. Like the petals unfold, we too unfold and rise from the murky waters, flowering into something beautiful. Like the flower, we retreat into the night, into the stillness, into our spiritual practices that help us get centered and connected and compassionate, even in the mud, so that we can continue rising in the morning. Our breath helps us feel the motion of rising up with the in-breath and sinking down with the out-breath. So let's imagine ourselves like lotus and imagine that it is night The sun is setting, the stars are rising, your petals close, and you can breathe underwater, but just do whatever works for you. Your petals close, and you drop into a stillness. Find a stillness. Hold a stillness. Let the stillness carry you. Find the silence. Hold the silence. Let the silence carry you. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, imagine finding true harmony, support, and sustenance. So just let's hold this stillness, silence, and let the Spirit come. And I'm going to give us some silence here, truly, for several minutes. If your mind is racing, you might just use the word stillness or stillness and spirit, and let the breath hold you. You may be feeling the desire to rise up above, to be drawn to the sun. And so as you do, begin to breathe in and notice your in-breath. Imagine yourself rising up out of the dark. Let your petals unfold and find yourself opening, blossoming on the surface of the water, allowing that sun to come down through the top of your head. And once again, find the stillness, find the silence. Let the Spirit comfort you. letting the sun shine upon you. This feels so much nicer. And we can still feel the spirit, the silence, and the stillness underneath the water down in the mud. It's just harder, it takes practice. So take that sunshine with you, let your petals fold up, and focus on the out breath and sink back down into the water, into the night, into the mud. It's okay because you feel spirit with you. You may feel some light, the light of spirit. It's really practice tuning in to universal love and universal life force energy, even down here in the mud. You may get a little itchy and antsy to rise back up, but just stay down in the mud. You're safe. You're held. There's harmony. Inviting universal life force energy to just move all around you. And you may even start to see your own bubble shining brightly in the mud. You're not alone. All of us are with you. We're in a big circle, each of us bright lights in the mud. Held by spirit. Your mind is racing. Just return to the breath, return to that life force energy that's moving through you. Plenty of room to breathe down here in the mud. You are safe. You're in community. Spirit is holding you. Then let yourself rise back up. On the in-breath, focus on the in-breath, rise up through the night. The sun is calling you forward to a new day. You come out onto the surface of the water. Your petals open. You spread out. And all of us are with you here. Each of us floating on the surface of the water. Rest here for a few moments. following your breath. And then one more time, we're going to drop down. So focus on your out breath. Let your petals close. Dropping down under the surface of the water. Again, feeling the power of community, taking universal life force with you. Spirit is with you, whether you're on the surface or down below. Feel your big, bright light shining, taking all of the meditation we've done with you underneath the surface. You can breathe. It's getting lighter. Feel the silence, the stillness, and the spirit. And it's down here that we notice even more our friends, our family, our neighbors, ourselves, all of those things, those concerns. And so we send this light out into the mud, into our friends who are having surgery today, yesterday. Those of you who are having surgery coming up in the month ahead. This light shines brightly out. The mud starts to part. Our immigrant neighbors, our trans friends, those on food stamps, our government workers. Let the Spirit bring great harmony, balance, and love. And watch the light spreading even in the mud. It's the practice of inviting spirit, compassion, and connection, even in the thick of stuff. Learning the practice of sticking with it sometimes when it feels icky. Knowing that the light is there, holding us and supporting us. Begin to focus on your in-breath. Rising up through the surface, it's morning. Find yourself coming up through the water, your petals opening, you're resting. Begin to give thanks for the rhythm of life, as hard as it is. We are alive. We are awake. And before you go into your day, really feel that energetic bubble all around you. Our empathy is such a gift. Our sensitivity, our care, our kindness is a gift. Find yourself surrounded by an energy of protection so that you can say, stay strong. We give thanks for this group, for the natural world as a metaphor, a symbol for how to live. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You may be still looking at the screen. But when you're ready, come back to the room.